Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Guitar Slinger Hockey channel. Today I'm going to do a relatively short video, unlike my normally extremely way too long videos that probably no one watches, but I think I have possibly one of the first owner reviews of the new AS3 Pro hockey skate that I actually spent my own money on, and I've now officially had the chance to try it on ice. Now, I've been off the ice since December of 2019, and the current date's July 19th, 2020. I personally was out with a second total hip replacement, and yesterday was the first chance I had to skate. Combined with that and the global pandemic, was able to skate for about an hour on these and had an opportunity to get a feel for them. So they're actually, what I would say about them is I think they're probably one of CCM's best boots that they've ever made. So obviously, so long as it's the right boot fit and cut for you. So I would say that I can think of I can think of three negative things about the skates, but right now I'll go over what I consider to be the positives. So you just can't beat the one-piece design, and I think these are actually a true one-piece in that they wrap all the way around the bottom of the foot, and I don't think that was actually the case with the AS1s in the previous generations of the SuperTax. I think they were kind of some knockoff one that looked full one-piece. They were definitely better than a traditional two-piece like Bauer, but this is like really a true one-piece boot, and you can feel it when you get on the ice. There's no way, as somebody who's a former Ultrasonics owner and been wearing Bauer for years, there's no way that those Bauer skates can compete with the one-piece boot design. I'm sorry. They just can't. Now, looks-wise, it's subjective, but I think that they're a pretty cool look to them. That is actually not yellow. That's actually gold. And the CCM logo actually looks really neat up close, but not in cameras or pictures. These look way better in person than they do on videos and such. I think that looks cool on the bottom there, too. The interior of the skate, I have these are an 8EE, but I have the insoles out drying out for my skate yesterday, but they did a really good job with the padding and the liner in these skates. They're very much, they're way more comfortable than the AS1s or the other versions of them as well, and they're more comfortable than the Ultrasonics that I owned for a short amount of time as well. They're more fitting, they're more forming, and they're just a nicer fitting boot with regard to how soft the liner is. They're very well done. Not a whole lot of change with the tongue or anything like that, or excuse me, with the Achilles guard here, but they are nice. Also, so they have 4mm more padding in the skate, which is cool for comfort because the boot is stiffer. Also, they're lined with padding across these seams here, which to me are a big deal because I always hated Bauer how it's not lined. It's uncomfortable to me when they do that. So that was really cool having that amount of comfort in there in the padding, especially because they are a stiffer boot. I'm going to come to these in a minute here. The tongue, asymmetrical tongue, it is definitely a good tongue. It's more or less what I would want in a skate, just the general design of a felt tongue, but I'm also going to come back to the tongue as well. The holders, I'm now convinced that these are a higher quality holder than the Bauer Took Edge holders with the trigger in them. It's definitely true that these hold the blades in place more, it's more solid of a system, and it's easier to use, even though it's not quote unquote as quick. But let's be honest, who are you if you need something changed in like 2 seconds versus 7 seconds? You know what I mean? Like, you're not that good. Sorry. And I'm not that good either. Trust me. I will also say that The selection of steel isn't as good for the CCMs, but it's getting better. I think a huge pro is that with new skates like from CCM, CCM is now sending out free step steel. Now it is the basement model step steel. It's just the stainless model. It's not like you're getting step steel, black steel, which is truly what you would want in a skate like this. But it is cool that you're getting a free pair. Like mine just haven't shown up yet. But you just got to go to ccmrebate.com and put in your details, and they will send those to you. Weight standpoint, they are as light as anything else that's on the market. There are probably some differences between maybe the FT2 or the Bauer Vapor, but I can't tell. They're comparable weight to the Ultrasonic for sure. Overall, a very you can tell like immediately when you get on the ice that it's a one-piece boot, and it is very maneuverable. You have you can really feel the ice, and it's very cool. So that was a nice bonus too. And the stiffness, I think depending on how much you weigh and how good of a skater you are, that could be a good thing too. But in my opinion, the stiffness of a boot is like kind of getting overkill for. I don't necessarily think that their boots need to be this stiff anymore. But it is a stiff boot, and you do get a lot of good responsiveness out of the boot, especially through the bottom part of the skate. Now for the negative stuff. I will say that the, just kind of no particular order here. The comfort pads, I would say, they feel soft, but they're kind of not positioned in the right place. So I would give Bauer the edge on the comfort pads for sure. They kind of, I don't really notice them that much. I notice the stiffness of the boot at the top ankle, but I don't think they're in a place that actually you would need them. So I don't know how good of a design that was, but fortunately there's enough padding on the inside where it's not really that big of a deal. But don't think that those actually work, I would say, even though they're technically soft to the touch. The steel itself is the absolute worst steel I've ever used in my life. It was crazy how bad it was. It's true that it's been a long time since I've been on the ice, but as someone who uses step steel and flare steel, this was so bad. I mean, it was like skating in mud, how slow this steel was. It was like, it almost had grip like rollerblades did. It was very strange. These are definitely like placeholders for real steel when you replace it. Yeah, these will just be backup steel. It's the kind of thing where I would just, keep these. They are profiled and sharpened, so it's a good set of backup, but I would recommend getting rid of those immediately. The way I would refer to it is it's like the equivalent if you bought a Ferrari and then were too cheap to buy the right kind of wheels, rims, and tires, and instead you put on 4 of those flat tire donuts instead because you were too cheap. That's kind of how it feels with these steel on it. So it is nice that CCM is providing free step steel, even though it's not the really good step steel like the black step steel black. So that's awful, but it's not really that big of a deal. The next thing that is a problem that I believe needs to be fixed, and I have a video on this that I'm releasing, is the tongue system. Most of the people that I've spoken with have said that they can feel this tongue attachment system on the top of their foot, and it's not just something you notice, but it's something that actually digs into the point where it makes you consider buying a different pair of skates. And so I have a video on how to fix that, and I fixed it perfectly. And so you can look on my channel for that one, but that is a problem for most of the people. Unless you have such a low volume foot on the forefoot that you don't feel it, then it is a problem. But if you have such a low volume foot that you don't even feel it, why are you in SuperTax? You should be looking at the Jet Speed or a Vapor or something like that. So I would say that, to summarize, the steel sucks. you're going to have to modify the tongue attachment system where the tongue attaches to the toe cap. And then you should have low expectations about the comfort edge at the top of the boot. And depending on how you skate, the stiffness of the boot could be too stiff. But if you kind of set those things aside, like you can replace the steel, no problem, especially for free. There's a way, I found out a way to modify the tongue attachment point, so that should be no problem. And then other than that, there's enough padding in the boot that you shouldn't really have to worry about the comfort edge at the top anyways. So those are really kind of the main issues that I had with the boot. Other than that, they are a fantastic skate that I'm looking forward to skating in more. They were pretty much broken in right out of the box with the heat mold so easily. And they are definitely a huge upgrade from their predecessors. I really think that if you're someone who likes CCM skates and just likes the comfort and the mobility of them, you can't go wrong. Like, depending on your foot shape, whether you need medium volume or low volume, you can't go wrong with either these or the JetSpeed FT2s. I do think there's a little more technology in these with the full bottom of the foot wrap, especially for someone like me with a foot injury that's permanent. These fit a lot better, but neither of those skates you can go wrong with. I would just say that these probably have the edge with technology, and these have a better tongue in them than the FT2s. But of course, FT2s don't have that wacky detachment system that these do. I really wish CCM would just, actually all manufacturers would just leave a nice solid felt tongue in their skates and just be done with it. That's pretty much what everybody wants anyways. But other than that, that's my review on these skates. Aside from those minor things, I think they're fantastic and would recommend them. And especially the fact that they have a 90-day return warranty, that you can skate on them for 90 days, and if you don't like them, send them back to CCM for a refund, or go through the place you bought them from. So I think they're awesome, and I would definitely recommend them. And last parting note I will tell you, since I did own the Ultrasonic skate, the new one, there equally is a high quality skate, but the fit system is bonkers. If you're somebody who's worn Bauer and you were considering CCM, you're trying to decide between the two, do yourself a favor and throw out what you knew about the Bauer fitting system in the years in the past, and get yourself scanned, or you'll be wasting money. So that's what I would say about that. But again, these skates are fantastic. I'd recommend them, aside from those little tiny things. And let me know if you got any questions or comments. Peace. All right, here we go. Oh, hockey stop.